All right, it's Rob the Dark Sider here with you. You can find me on all the social media channels, all the big ones. I think I have a TikTok account. I don't use it, so don't look for me there. But Facebook, Instagram, um, YouTube, of course, which you're probably watching this on YouTube now, and of course Twitter, all at or slash Rob the Dark Sider, depending on what the whatever styling the site uses. But anyway, the New York Jets won a football game today, all right? And that's what matters because this would have been a way different video had they lost. Because I mean, I had notes. I was ready. I was going to come out all guns blazing, boom, 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 boom. It was going to be ugly. It was going to be ugly. I was going to start yelling at some of you crazy maniacs that like to give people a hard time about being negative. I was so angry, but I can't be a hypocrite, right? I tell it like it is. That's part of my charm, right? I mean, if you think I have charm, but I got to tell it like it is. I mean, last week I was all pissed off that the Jets, didn't win against the Chiefs and shot themselves in the foot a million times. And at the end of the day, it's a moral victory, and I don't want moral victories. So if I'm going to complain about a game where so much progress was made, then I have to praise a game where they won, and winning is what matters. So I would rather have a 12-5 record with 12 ugly wins than a 3-14 record with three beautiful wins where they played hard and a bunch of moral victories. So kudos to the Jets for that. They hung tough. One of my big things, as you know, if you know anything about me or even read what I write here, I am big on the same old Jets. Big, 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 because it's happened so many times over the years. Today was not same old Jets. Today was a day same old Jets would have lost. They would have, there were a lot of same old Jet plays like that thing before the half. I am not going to get into specific plays today. I'm going to leave that alone. I want to talk about the positive and talk about the fact that the Jets hung tough and won. Maybe touch on a couple of plays. I will get to the things that concern me in a different video for the sake of keeping it short. But the Jets hung tough. There were a lot of same old Jets moments that had me like, oh my God, this is the same old Jets. And even at the end, I was expecting them to blow it and make it same old Jets, but they didn't. And that is the big, big key here. Maybe the Jets have turned a corner. I mean, they did well last week. They hung tough today in an ugly, ugly game. It was, what did they said, gritty, not pretty. And listen, I will take gritty. I mean, it's one thing the Jets have not been in a long, long time is gritty. Today was pretty gritty. There was a lot of a little concern about the defense. Again, different video, but the Jets did a lot of things to shoot themselves in the foot and just would not allow it to sink them. They hung tough. They came back. They held the lead when they could have easily given it away, and I can't say enough about how impressive that was. Now there were things about the game that weren't impressive, particularly the coaching, the first half defense, and Mr. Zach Wilson. I'll talk about it in a different video. Again, we'll get into some of that stuff. Um, Zach Wilson, I think, was adequate at times, but I was not super impressed. I think he's doing exactly what he did last year, which is playing well enough for the team, not to kill the team, but he's not doing anything to really help them. But again, separate video. I keep saying that. Here I am a minute later, still talking about it. So some of the positives here: the defense second half once again came out, did really well. I mean, the defense in the second half did really well, except for that one touchdown drive where they just gashed the hell out of him. But offensively, Brees Hall. I mean, how can we talk about this game without talking about Brees Hall? I mean, Brees Hall was everything we wanted him to be. He was everything he seemed to be last year. He was everything we were hoping he would be this year. You've seen glimpses of the breakaway speed this year. Against Buffalo, we ran out of gas, and then last week against the Chiefs, he tripped up on his own guy. Today, he broke it, and there were a couple of other times that he almost broke it. And I have to say, you watch Brees Hall play, and the second he makes that first move, you feel like he's gone every time. So he's exciting. Guy is awesome, and he carried the Jets to a win today on the offensive side. The defense played very well in the second half for the most part. So defense held it together for a half. Brees Hall had a great game. Zach Wilson made some plays when he needed to. And how about Tyler Conklin doing his best Mark Bavaro impression? For some of you who are younger, you don't remember Mark Bavaro. Mark Bavaro made a living out of doing what Conklin did today on that one pass where he carried 3 or 4 guys for like 10, 12 yards and finally got taken down. Bavaro used to do that all the time. He was awesome. If you're old enough to remember Bavaro, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to keep this one nice and short because it's a win. I'm happy for the win, and I have a lot of tougher things to say about this game because I'm trying not to let the fact that for 3 quarters I was miserable and ready to kill somebody affect this because it's a win, and the win is what matters. At the end of the day, you play the football to win the game. Yeah, Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. Well, you actually do play to win the game. Herm Edwards' successor times 5, whatever, how many coaches down the line we are here. Mr. Salah does not play to win the game, but we'll do that in another video as well. Okay. Great win for the Jets today. It's on to the Eagles next week. Maybe we can get on the board against them. We're never beating them in the regular season. And I think it's about time. I don't think we're gonna, but again, we're gonna keep this one nice and positive as much as possible. Jets with a big win, 2-3, headed into a game against Philly, and then the bye, and then the schedule does soften up somewhat. So the Jets can hang in there. We might have a shot at something, at least having some meaningful ball in November, December. All right, have a good one. Go Jets.